guys, you're welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support here on my channel. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here. You are too much here on this channel. In this video today, this style you are looking at on the screen is what we are going to be making today. So we are going to be drafting it on the drafting paper and then place it on the material and cut. So this is what we are going to be making today. It's been a very long time I came online, and this is due to this period we are into. So I'm back again with this beautiful style here today. And if today is your first time of checking on this channel, kindly subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below, and the bell beside the subscribe button below is a notification bell. Make use of it so that whenever I upload my new video, you are going to be notified. So this style is going to half cut on the waistline, which is the half length. It's going to half cut, and then on the knee length, above the knee length, is going to half cut above the knee length because of the ruffle it has. So sit back and enjoy yourself. Without further ado, let's get started. So I'm marking my marginal line. So this is my marginal line. Then I'm going to place the half of my back measurement. I told you we have 15 inches for the back measurement. Divided by 2 is going to give me 7.5. Then I'm going to place my tape measure to mark 7.5. Then I'm going to come down for my shoulder slanting. So I want to mark 1 inch for my shoulder slanting, and you could go lower than that. You could do 0.5, and you could mark 1/4 inch. And here the wideness of my neck, I want to mark 3.5. And once I've done that, I want to connect the shoulder slope to the wideness of my neck. I want to mark the armhole depth. I have 16 inches for the armhole, then divided into 2 is what I'm going to mark. So I'm marking 8 inches at that point. 8 inches is the half of my round armhole. And then I'm going to mark half length. I have 16 inches for the half length. So I'm going to add 2 inches for joining allowance. You know, we are making padded dress, so 2 inches is okay. So in this case, I'll be marking 18 inches. Okay, so I marked 18 inches, and I'll go ahead and extend the lines together. I will extend all the points I made, and this is what I'm doing. So I want to mark the bust line, the bust point, or whatever you are calling it. So I have 10 inches. Then I'm going to extend it as well. Okay. So I want to input the dart. I have 7 inches for the nipple to nipple measurement plus 1 divided by 2. This is what I'm placing right here. So this is my waistline and my bust line. So I'm going to connect these markings together. Good. And I want to go up. This is my bust point, so I'm going up 1/4 inch. Sorry, 3/4, and mark 3/4 below the bust point. 3/4 above the bust point and 3/4 below the bust point. And you could go lower than that. You can mark 0.5 or 1/4 inch, depending on your preference. So I prefer this one I marked onto this tutorial. So I want to draw my armhole depth to my bust line. Then I'm going to place my armhole curve and curve the armhole. Okay, so I want to look for the midpoint, which is 4 inches, and then from that point I'm going to come in 0.5 to create the back armhole. So I'm marking this 0.5 to the shoulder slanting, and then I want to create the cuff for the back armhole, and this is what I'm placing my cuff ruler to do. So this is my back armhole. Okay, so this is my back armhole. So bust measurement divided by 4 is what I want to place. 38 divided by 4, and then my desired allowance. So I'm going to extend it from the bust point to the bust line. I forgot to mark my my under bust. I'm sorry. So 13.5 is the under bust we are working with for today's tutorial, and this is what I'm marking. This is my under bust. So the round of my under bust divided by 4, this is what I'm placing. Round of my under bust divided by 4 plus 3 inches sewing allowance and 2.5, because I'm using 2.5 for the dart. So this is my waistline. I have 32 inches for the waist divided by 4, 3 inches sewing allowance and 2.5 for the dart. So I'm going to connect these markings together. So from the underbust to the armhole. So guys, I'm going to create the neck depth. I've marked the wideness of my neck, so I'm marking 3.5 for the front panel and 1.5 for the back panel, because the dress is somehow high. It has high neck, and this is the reason for this. So this is my back depth and the front depth. Okay, so I first cut the back depth before cutting the front. So now I want to create the dart. So here I want to mark 1 inch from the center front, and to the armhole side I'm marking 1.5, and I repeat the same thing here on the waistline. Then I'm going to connecting it together. I want to draw a straight line. Then I repeat the same thing here, a straight line. Then I turned my ruler to connect to the underbust, 3/4 below the underbust, and then I repeat to the other side. Okay, all right. So I'm going to mark 0.5 below the midpoint, and then I'm going to slant it to the dart line. I'm slanting it to the dart line. So I'm placing my cuff ruler to slant it. All right. Then I'm going to mark 1/4 inch from the both sides. So I'm marking this to avoid the unnecessary bulge on the armhole sides. Okay. So 1/4 inch, I'm marking it from the both sides, and then I'm going to draw it to the bust line. I hope you saw it. So I'll go ahead and measure what I took and then replace it. So once I've done that, I'm going to create another armhole. So I'm creating another armhole with 0.5 I took at the back of the armhole. So I'll just make a cuff from the 0.5. Okay. So this is my new armhole I'm going to use. So this one is no more my armhole. So that is my normal armhole. Alright guys, I'm going to cut. So I'm cutting and placing it on the fabric. So I'm cutting right here, my armhole, the sides, I'm cutting the darts, and then I'm going to cut the fabric the same way I cut the drafting paper. So guys, this is what I drafted. I cut what I drafted on the drafting paper the other time. So this is one side, the other side, and this is the center front. So I added my wording. So I hope you saw it like this. So these are the two sides and the center front. Okay. So I have second lining here. So this is lace material we are working with on today's tutorial. So that's why I will be using two lining, and I use the bridal satin to cut the other line. If you have normal lining, you can use it instead of this, but because I don't have other lining, that's why I used this one. Okay, so this is my other lining, and this is my main fabric. So this is it. So guys, this is what I'm having. This is how it's going to look like. So this is front panel I'm joining. So I cut my bust point and the under bust, and then I sew straight down, and then the other side as well. So guys, this is how front panel looks like. I hope you like this. So I've joined this. So this is the inner part. I added my wording. So I will place the liner I showed you the other time on it, and then I'm going to place it like so to turn it like I said. So I will start sewing from this shoulder to the other shoulder, and then I will join the two sides. So guys, this is the bottom of the upper part. So I've cut it and joined together, then I folded it into two, then I notched the midpoints like this, and I repeat the same thing to the upper part. Then I'm going to place upper part on the bottom of the dress. I use my pin to secure it, then I will start the joining. So in doing this, I will make sure two notching parts are aligned. So I will go ahead and join upper part and down part together like so. This is back panel. So I've joined both upper part and lower part of the back panel together, and this is what I'm having. And then I'm going to place front panel on the back panel and then I'm going to continue the measurement. The bust measurement divided by 2. So we are divided by 2 now and not by 4, since we are not folding into 4 again. So divided by 2, bust measurement divided by 2 is what I'm placing my tape measure for. And the waist measurement divided by 2 is what I'm having. So here I'm going to place the waist measurement divided by 2, and then I'm going to share the remaining allowance to the both sides. So waist measurement divided by 2, and then I'm sharing the remaining allowance to the both sides. So I have 2 inches left, so I'll be marking 1 inch from the both sides, and then I'm going to connect this to the bust measurement. Okay, I mark my hip point. So the hip point we are using for today's tutorial is 8 inches, and this is what I'm marking, and I will extend it to the other side. On this hip point line, I'm going to divide the hip measurement into 2, and then share the remaining allowance to the both sides as well. So I'll share the remaining allowance to the both sides, and this is what I'm doing. My hip measurement divided by 2, then I'm going to left with 5 inches, then 2.5 to this side, and the remaining 2.5 to the other side. So this is what I want to mark. So I've connected the points together. I hope you saw it, and to the other side. So I've connected them together, and then I have my material for the nail length. So this is material we are going to use for the nail length. Okay, so this is material I'm going to use for the ruffle. It has ruffle on the sleeve part. So this is what I'm going to use. Here I have 13 inches, and here I have about 10 inches. Okay, then I'm going to place 10 inches on this 13 inches and go to my machine and start the gathering. And you could use your needle and thread to achieve this. So the length of the sleeve we have for today's tutorial is 22 inches. I will make sure I gather it to 22 inches as well. I've done the ruffle, and this is how it's looking. So I placed it on the center front as shown. So this is how it's looking. I'm sure you like this. So far so good. We have come to the end of it all. So this is the lower part. Is this not beautiful? So I told you we are going to have 2 joining, and this is the half length. Okay, so this is the ruffle part on the sleeve part of the beautiful dress we are making. I'm sure you like this dress. Kindly subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Tell a friend to do so also. See you in my next tutorial. I love you. Bye.